The lady is rising. She is rising. The lady is rising. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of a Special Lady Rising podcast series where I feature women from the Caribbean. I am your host, Naomi Ambrose. In this episode, I chat with Noelina St Ange, the founder of TifiZouk handbags. A bit of background information here. Did you know that Noelina is from my Caribbean home island of St. Lucia? The beautiful St. Lucia. I was so excited to have a chat with Noelina. I was so excited to learn about this endeavor that she undertook, from having her bags, her TifiZouk handbags available. You learn so much about Noelina and her entrepreneurial journey right here on this podcast. A bit of information about how Noelina and I connected. I found out about her through my mother. My mother usually reads the St. Lucian News online. It's an online website where you get a chance to learn about what's happening in St. Lucia. And she told me about this individual, this lady, Noelina St Ange, and her endeavors. And I thought it was quite impressive what she was able to accomplish with her TifiZouk handbags. So you need to listen to the episode to learn a lot more about Noelina and her TifiZouk endeavors. In this episode, you'll also learn about the importance of knowing yourself and your passions, the connections between successful entrepreneurs, self-awareness, and passion, and the importance of having a unique product or service. You'll also learn about the importance of having a vision for yourself, and so much more that you can learn. Just a few points to note. As is always the case with technology, you know the deal, sometimes technology rears its ugly head. So towards the end of the conversation, you might not hear every single thing very clearly, but you will get the gist of the conversation. And you may also hear some slight talking in the background or a door opening, but I don't think that any of these items will take away from the points that Noelina shares in this interview. So stay tuned and enjoy the episode. Hi everyone, and welcome to this podcast, the Lady Rising podcast. I am your host, Naomi Ambrose, and I'm very excited here today to have a very special guest, Noelina St Ange. So please welcome Noelina St Ange to our podcast today. Hi. So the purpose of this podcast is to inspire and to motivate and empower female entrepreneurs to pursue their entrepreneurial goals and to also learn from other entrepreneurs, more specifically entrepreneurs from the Caribbean, female entrepreneurs from the Caribbean, because I don't think that there is enough of a platform given to female entrepreneurs from the Caribbean to share their insights and what they have learned along the way and any challenges that they have encountered, and to inspire you out there as well to pursue your own endeavors. So without further ado, let's welcome Noelina to the stage, well, the virtual stage. So Noelina, can you tell us a bit about yourself just briefly, and what made you decide to pursue your TifiZouk endeavors?
Right. Yes, sure. So the name is Noelina St Ange. My mother calls me TifiZouk, so that's where the name for the brand came about. I was working in accounts, but I'm still working accounts, and I was enrolled as a student of the ACCA, and I was pursuing that qualification in accounts. And I know I didn't want to have all my eggs in one basket, as they say. So I thought, what if this doesn't, work out? What am I going to do? Right? As a backup plan. And so I've always been creative. I'm good with my hands. I like to design. I like to draw, and so on. So when our ministry down there of Creative Industries, they launched a program where they would be funding small businesses by way of grants, I said that I wanted to take up that opportunity to see how far I could go. But I didn't want to just produce or design something that was already out there. I wanted my idea, my product to be unique. And so that's where the idea for the interchangeable TifiZouk handbags came came about.
Yes. So was there anything in particular that really fueled the urge or the desire to say like this is it, now or never, I need to get this done now?
Yes. Actually, I made a decision in my um, my bathroom. I was taking a shower, and I had a bit of a headache from studying because I was studying on my own ACCA. So I was in the bathroom and I thought, is this what I really want to do? The next 5 to 10 years or so, is this what I really want to do? And then I thought, you know what, I might as well take a chance and go for this.
Okay.
And so that's the moment that I made the decision to really pursue. That decision was made in my shower.
Interesting you talk about decision, because I think that's something that's very important. I think if you want to pursue your endeavors, not just entrepreneurial, but just endeavors on the whole, is you have to make a decision. And some people, I think, they like to dilly-dally and say, oh, I don't know, but you have to make a decision. I think that's a key aspect of being a good entrepreneur is you have to make a decision.
Yes, I heard that quote not too long ago. Anybody who has ever been successful, they've had to take that leap. They've had to make that decision.
Exactly.
So I strongly believe in that as well.
And I just reading about your bio, I know that you had quite a bit of help in getting your business off the ground. So did you have any challenges though in getting TifiZouk off the ground?
Yes, I think it's what a lot of young entrepreneurs will face. It's has to do with the capital, the funding, the finances is not readily available, and especially if you're a startup, the financial institutions, they don't want to borrow or to lend any money, to a startup. So that was the major challenge that I faced.
And how did you?
It's ongoing. It's ongoing challenge.
Okay, so despite though the grants help that you got as well and assistance from, you still got.
Actually, the grant funding, it did not come through. It presented the opportunity for me to, to come up with this idea, but it didn't really come through because of all the financial difficulties that we were facing back here in St. Lucia at the time. So I did not get the grant funding. The idea was born from the opportunity.
Okay.
So I managed to get my private investor to really invest in this line of handbags. So I had to take my own investor.
Okay, and funny you mention that because I think that's something a lot of startups face or new entrepreneurs is where do they get the support? Where do they get the help? And that's something that's an ongoing struggle for a lot of people. So what advice though would you give to persons in that context who might not have any help or, what advice would you give them to try and
help is, I like to think that help is always available. You just need to put yourself out there. Because when that door closed, I had to continue. And eventually somebody saw the idea and they had enough confidence in it that they took the risk in the business. So I would like to tell them to do not give up. Just because one door is closed doesn't mean that another one can't open it for you. And network.
That's so true.
That's how we form all of our connections, and you need to network. You can't do it alone. You need a team effort.
Okay. Any suggestions in terms of maybe where persons can even start networking or finding, somebody to help them in your case? Any suggestions?
Well, back here in St. Lucia, we have the SEDU, or just SEDU. They're a department of the Ministry of Commerce, so they assist persons with from the startup, and they continue to assist you within the early stages of your business. So they provide services such as the business plan. Well, we just mentioned finance, so they will help you, to find finance, whatever you will need during that startup. Then they give you the managerial services that you need. So SBDC down here in St. Lucia is where you go if you're a young person and then you really want to take the risk and start your your own business and you go to SBDC.
Okay.
And we have other institutions down here. We have financial institutions such as the Commercial Development Bank. They do lend to businesses as well. In my case, I'm some assistants from the Taiwan Commercial Embassy. They actually facilitated the trip to Taiwan, so I was able to visit Taiwan to meet with the manufacturers in person. So that really helped.
Okay.
It was a really huge help for me.
So just the sort of type, so it'd be a good governmental assistance as well, and
Yes.
certain financial institutions. That's good. So what has been your biggest learning moment from getting to TifiZouk off the ground?
I think it's really like some
Yeah.
form of
Some
reality.
sort of, yeah, like an aha moment or something that really struck you. Yeah.
What was my aha moment? I think just well, we have to go back to the basics. I had my idea on a sketch, a sketch pad, just the sketches, and I went around the office showing the ladies, because this would be a product for ladies, showing them just the sketches, and they were very impressed. They said that if I was able to make this, then they would purchase. So I said, you know what, I'm onto something here. I have a very interesting product here. So that was really an aha moment.
Okay.
Because it was an opportunity for me to pursue it further, to see how far I can go.
Hmm. And what are your thoughts? Mhm.
Pardon?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was saying, along the way, the journey, we've had different aha moments, but that one is really jumping point for me. That was a jumping off point for me. Just seeing how people responded to just the idea.
That's
It's really enough to motivate me.
That's awesome. It's always good to get good feedback and people are excited in whatever it is that you want to do. So that's good. So what are your thoughts on female entrepreneurship in the Caribbean generally? I know, well, the Caribbean is a big, so I wouldn't want to categorize the Caribbean as one group, but maybe just from either your observations in St. Lucia or maybe just interacting with other.
Well, in St.
Yeah.
Lucia for sure, I know our female entrepreneurs, we have we have a strong game going down here, because I met at the Taiwanese trade show so many different talented young ladies creating their own jewelry, their own skincare products, the soaps, the lotions, deodorants, creating their own hair care products. So I think we have a lot of really talented persons down here. You know, we just need, obviously, we need more support. We need more support for young entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs, because we all face the same struggles initially, and that's the finance.
Mm-hmm.
We do so much more if we have the opportunity, and also the market as well. Because I was thinking, I have a personal friend who, Leandra Farmessence, she does those soaps, the natural products. So I was thinking she could maybe export, and that's a great opportunity for her. She would be able to export it, if not internationally, regionally, she can start there. So we have a lot of talent down here. I wish, more people would invest.
That's
in
true.
us.
I'll be biased. I'm gonna be biased, obviously. There's a lot of talent and so much going on in St. Lucia. So much to offer. I mean, even we're on a segue here, but even just looking at like the Journée Creole. I remember when I used to be back home, they used to have the Journée Creole, competitions, and people have all these creative, art pieces. It's really really good. So there is a lot of talents, especially for our female entrepreneurs in St. Lucia. So all we need is some support, as always. Always good to get some support. So how do you then, though, balance your time with either pursuing your quote unquote day job and your entrepreneurial needs, working on TifiZouk?
Well, I have to keep it separate as much as possible. So I have my day job where I put in my time, and when I go home is when I would focus on TifiZouk because I don't have an actual or physical store, so I don't need to be at that place managing it, which people can find me online. So in the evening is when I would really reply to customers and make arrangements for deliveries and so on. So I really try to keep my own hustle, my side hustle, and my day job separate.
So that's the important point is to keep them separate. Don't try to mingle the two.
Yeah.
Put in this time to do your quote unquote day job and separate. That's a good point that you raised here. So are there any tools or resources that you use to help you to keep the balance or to say, okay, I've attended to this customer, or I've done this? Like how do you keep yourself in check? Or,
Well, I have some help. My sister helps me to manage my social media pages. Because like I said, I would get the queries from. So my sister is a huge help in that really many customers. So when I get home, she then brings this person was asking for some information. You kind of respond to them, or have you responded to this person was asking. So my sister is huge help for me in that check. Too many customers, so I'm able to manage on a weekly basis the interest that I get. So it's not too overwhelming at the moment.
okay, that's good. So what advice would you have for women who might want to start their own business and they're like, I don't know, I'm not sure about that, or I don't have enough experience, or who's going to buy my products? Like, what advice would you offer them?
Just to start to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it because I always believe in, working for yourself. There's no better boss, I think, than being your own boss. So if you feel that you have the idea, the business has the features, that you really want to start and do it. Because if you just think happens, you really have to, right?
All right, just do it. That's it. That's bottom line. Just get going. Just do it. That's amazing.
Like, just do it.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Noelina, for your time.
Of course, and I have to stress.
I'm sorry?
I say that it can't be done alone. I was saying that you need to do it, but you can't do it alone. You need to surround yourself with supportive persons. Because you need that. You need that support system around you.
That's
so
true.
Surround yourself with positive people as well.
That's true. That's important. Yep, you need to be around the right people, a group of supportive people, positive-minded people. I always say sometimes if you can't find maybe those persons in person, there are so many groups online, where you can join and find that supportive community. So that's key to have good support.
Yeah.
That's good.
For sure.
So,
For sure.
thank you so much, Noelina, for your time, and congratulations again on being the first St. Lucian to have this connection with Amazon. That's amazing, and that's quite an achievement.
One of the first, but not the first.
Okay. Oh, you one of the first. Okay, correct. Thanks for the correction. Okay, good. Thanks for that correction.
He has his music on Amazon.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's good to know. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure. And how can we connect with you, and how can we support you?
Well, for your area or your country, you're in Canada, right?
Yes.
In Canada and in the States,
Right.
we have our TifiZouk handbags available on Amazon.com. So they are available there for your purchase. And if you need to contact me, then we have our business pages on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us as TifiZouk or TifiZouk handbags.
Okay.
So always be on the other end waiting to respond.
Awesome. Alrighty. So thanks again. You've been listening to another exciting episode of the Lady Rising podcast featuring the St. Lucian female entrepreneur, Noelina St Ange. You can connect with Noelina St Ange over on Instagram at TifiZouk handbags, and you can also check out the page as well on Facebook. It's TifiZouk handbags. It's over on Facebook. If you like what you heard, do me a favor, rate this podcast on iTunes and share it with your friends and family. It will help so much. You can learn a lot more about this episode and other episodes right here at naomilambrose.com, and you can check out the section on my website that has Lady Rising and get some more information about the podcast and other episodes. Thanks again for listening. I am Naomi Ambrose.